When we look for signs of global conflict, our attention naturally locks onto the immediate crises. We track the explosions and smoke dominating the daily headlines out of the Middle East. And whatever global bandwidth is left gets entirely consumed by intense domestic political chaos, with high-stakes elections in the US and India soaking up the rest of the world's focus. But while the world watches those events, a massive military mobilization is happening quietly, right beneath the surface of the Pacific. This global preoccupation creates a tactical opening. It allows for the quiet positioning of high-intensity military assets in a way that would normally trigger immediate international alarm. To see what's actually happening, we have to look off the coast of Shanghai, into the East China Sea. This map shows a newly declared, totally restricted area over the Yellow and East China Seas. It is a massive 73,000 square kilometer blackout zone, an area more than twice the size of the entire island of Taiwan. China issued what is known as a NOTAM, a Notice to Air Missions. Normally, a country issues these to clear a small airspace for a few hours to run a routine missile drill. Enforcing a total civilian flight ban across an area this massive for 40 straight days breaks every established aviation pattern. Military analysts see exactly what this anomaly represents. It is an active, extended rehearsal for completely isolating Taiwan from the rest of the world. To understand the mechanics of this isolation, we have to look at a military doctrine called Anti-Access and Area Denial, or A2AD. The concept is simple. You create an impenetrable barrier around a target area that makes it entirely too costly for any adversary to enter. This tactical map of Taiwan's airspace illustrates how a 40-day NOTAM functions in the real world. It tests a nation's ability to maintain a physical wall in the sky, proving they can hold total control over a vast regional airspace. And the target of this wall is highly specific. It is engineered to neutralize foreign interventions, meaning advanced American hardware like F-35 fighter jets would be forced to turn back before they ever reach the island. The refinement of this A2AD doctrine suggests a clear strategic intent. It is designed to change the calculus of intervention, making the cost of entry for an outside navy unsustainable. But locking down the sky is only half the equation. On the water, massive swarms of Chinese ships are gathering in highly irregular patterns. These vessels look like ordinary civilian fishing boats. In reality, they are thousands of state-controlled maritime militia ships, heavily equipped with advanced surveillance and communication devices. This top-down tactical map shows how over 2,000 of these ships were recently deployed. They didn't scatter to fish. They deliberately arranged themselves into a strict inverted L-shaped formation just north of Taiwan. When you layer that highly coordinated sea swarm directly beneath the sprawling 40-day airspace blackout, you get a complete three-dimensional chokehold. This multi-domain lock creates a terrifying reality. It is the exact blueprint required to conquer an island without firing a single shot on day one. President Xi Jinping has already set a hard, publicly stated deadline to occupy Taiwan by the year 2027, but he doesn't need to wait for 2027. The heavy distractions tying up Washington and the Middle East offer a perfect temporary window to accelerate those plans right now, completely unnoticed. This strategy is called gray zone warfare. It relies on executing highly aggressive military maneuvers disguised as routine administrative tasks, sitting right below the legal threshold of open war. By stretching these closures from a few hours to 40 days, China has crossed a critical threshold. They are transitioning from running isolated drills to maintaining permanent operational readiness. This specific corridor functions as a primary artery for global trade. Closing it effectively severs the supply chains moving oil and energy through the Indo-Pacific. Specifically, isolating Taipei cuts off the global supply of advanced semiconductors, the tiny components that keep every modern economy and technological infrastructure running. We expect massive global conflicts to announce themselves clearly. We look for a formal declaration or a sudden bombing raid. But the real conflict won't begin with a warning siren. It begins with a quiet 40-day administrative notice, published while the rest of the world was busy looking the other way.